And welcome into PressBox Live. I'm Stan the Fan Charles of PressBox and PressBoxOnline.com. And as we do this Zoom each and every Monday night, we're brought to you by C3 American Exteriors. Ross Grimsley is with me. And up next, after I do this live read for C3 American Exteriors, is the most recent Orioles Hall of Famer, Mike Devereaux. He joins us in just a minute. But first, and he's smiling, both because he's a Hall of Famer and he knows I'm reading about a friend of his company. PressBox Live is brought to you by C3 American Exteriors. Go to their website at c3america.com to get a brand new roof for just the cost of your insurance deductible. And as I like to say every Monday and Wednesday when they support us on these Zooms, if you own a home, there won't be anything more expensive than fixing or replacing your roof. C3 American Exteriors, you'll like them, you'll trust them, and they will steer you right. And if your insurance will cover it, all or part of it, they'll get it covered for you. They'll handle it for you. C3 American Exteriors. And with us for the next half hour or so is a good friend of Ross Grimsley's and mine, Mike Devereaux, number 12. And now, Mike, always and forever in the Orioles Hall of Fame. How special actually was the day of getting this done?
I mean, I had no idea how special it was actually going to be. I knew it was going to be special, but this run up to this time and then the entire event of these 2 days, and having Grims there and everything, and my family and some friends, and then now that we're back and I look back on it, it just was absolutely truly amazing.
Your mom was there, right?
Yes, she was.
And Mark Luderman told me on Friday, you told a couple stories about her. We'll get to them in a little bit because I want to bring Grims in. I think the only person more happy about this than you is Grimsley. Why did you have Mike up there, like
introducing
you?
Mike,
why did you choose Ross?
Oh, okay.
The guy.
Well, you know what? They said we had to have someone introduce us, and I was trying to think. I mean,
and everybody else turned you down?
Oh, I was going to have to do it myself. but then my wife Michelle threw out Ross's name from Jump Street, and I was like, of course, that's it, no doubt about it. I mean, we're great friends. We've spent a lot of time together these past I don't know how many years.
Yeah.
On cruises, doing the fantasy camp down in Sarasota, and I've been on a show a few times, and I was like, of course, it's perfect. It's no brainer.
No, it was, and just like we said, we didn't play, with or against each other. We were two different eras, but still being around Devo and spending time with him and his wife and his family. I mean, it's just, we just connected for some reason.
Yeah.
But when he asked me, Stan, I was so honored, and I was really taken back by, well, of course I'll do it. It was so special, and I was just beaming, and I was beaming the whole time I was there to get the opportunity to do that. It's a very special time, and I was very, very proud to do it for you. I hope I did you a good job, buddy.
Hey, couldn't have done it better. I mean, that was incredible. I mean,
thanks.
There's no doubt everything went perfectly.
Great. Hey, Mike, we're here to talk about you, but you had the rare experience of going into the Hall of Fame, not with just Joe Angel or J.J. Hardy, both very deserving, but one of the neatest things the Orioles Hall of Fame has ever done is honored Mo Gaba posthumously. I mean, if he were still alive, they were going to honor him anyway, but was that special to you? How much did you know about the Mo Gaba story?
I didn't know much about Mo Gaba at all, so I researched it and I found out what type of person he was, and what an incredible young man he actually was, and the joy he brought to everybody he touched, whether it was the Ravens or the Orioles, and it was just tremendous. And I saw the look on the guys' faces when they were talking to him, and I mean, that's just an incredible person.
Hey, so now, before I turn you over to Devereaux to ask a couple questions, to Grimsley to ask you a couple questions, Mike, can you tell the one story about your mom that Mark Luderman told me about when you broke loose on a football play and you're running down the field?
Yeah. Oh, she felt so bad at the end, but yeah. So I was in the fifth grade, and running back. And I mean, it was a long ways too. I mean, the fields. I'm not sure they're not 100 yards, but they're still pretty long. And I broke away, and I'm gone. I mean, there's nobody. I mean, I was pretty fast. Nobody's going to catch me from behind. And I look next to me. My mother is pushing me along. She's running next to me. Go, go, go. And she's running right along next to me. And they have in football like that little league football, there's no stands, so people are just standing on the sidelines.
Right.
And so she got down the end zone where nobody was there but her and me. And she said she didn't know what to do when she got down there.
That's a great story. That's a great story. Grims, go ahead.
Hey, Stan, I spent time with his mom. I love her to death, and it's not surprising. I mean, we walked from the waterfront harbor to Sabatino's in Little Italy, and me walking, my knees were killing me. And she's 84, 85 years old, right?
86.
Devo?
86.
Yeah, and she's just motoring along. I felt terrible because I'm complaining, and she's going, "Are you all right?" She goes, "Are you all right?" Yeah. But anyway, Devo, I love her. I mean, she's a treat. Very special lady. But go back. I mean, you're from Wyoming, and one of the things I said when I was speaking about, there ain't a lot of players that come from Wyoming. Actually, the second fewest players to ever go to the big leagues is Wyoming, the state, and Alaska is the one that sends the fewest. Tell us a little bit about you playing baseball at an early age. I know your dad coached you, but tell the viewers a little bit about that.
Yeah, I had no idea that was the case as far as how many people came from Wyoming. But yeah, I have a brother that's a year older than me, and a brother that's 2 years older than me. So I started when I was 5, but my dad started coaching when my oldest brother was 7. So I really didn't get into organized baseball until I was 8 years old. But I was always around the field, and I was always playing catch and all that. But yeah, so he coached us that little league. He went up to Babe Ruth and coached Babe Ruth League, and up until we went to American Legion is when he stopped coaching us. But we won a lot of games too, because we're the only team that literally had batting practice. Like, what are you guys doing? Usually just go out there and play. But we actually had batting practice before the game, and we won. We did a lot of winning. Our name of our team was called the Casper Police Department.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so they sponsored us. So
now let me ask you a question, just a practical question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that the population of Wyoming isn't very highly in the category of African American.
No, not at all.
How did your family get out to Wyoming?
Well, my father was in the service, and after
Okay.
he finished that, he was an electrical engineer. And right after my sister was born, she was born on base in Newport, Newport, Virginia. And he got a job working for the government, Bureau of Reclamation up in Wyoming before myself and my brothers were born. And I didn't know anything else. I mean,
That explained it. Yeah.
born all the way up till I was old enough to figure out to go on my own. And I said, I'm leaving Wyoming. See what else is out there.
That's great. That's great.
But Devo, tell us, I know you played high school, you played football, you played basketball, track and field, you held records in track and field, you won state championships, you were elected to the National High School Hall of Fame. All of that, you didn't play baseball in high school. Tell us a little bit about that.
I didn't. Yeah, I did. I always had American Legion. There was not time. There was not time to play high school baseball because of the weather. I mean, high school was finished. I mean, it was probably like another month or so that you could have played when school season was going on. And I used to be so upset because of that weather. Oh, I was so mad because baseball was my favorite. Because baseball was a sport that is very family oriented. So my whole family had a part of it. And just like it is now, it's very family oriented. And it was summer, so it was warm. And the guys on our team were from all over the city. So they didn't necessarily have to be from my school or just around me. So not that the city's that big, don't get me wrong. But we'd have a lot of friends, and we develop friendships in that way. And no matter what was going on in the summertime, there was a lot of ballparks now. So everybody was at the ballpark in the summertime. That was the only place to be.
Really? Okay.
Whether you're playing or not.
You go to you graduate from high school, you go to Mesa Community College, then you finally get a baseball scholarship. But actually, all your scholarships that you got were in football. I believe is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, finally you get your scholarship to Arizona State, powerhouse baseball team. Tell us about playing in the outfield with Barry Bonds and Oddibe McDowell. That had to be something else.
Yeah, we had a pretty good squad. We had the best team in the whole country, even though we didn't win the Nationals. But Barry would do things that you knew he didn't mean to do, like hit a home run with topspin, and we're like saying, man, this guy over here, one of these days it's gonna click, and when it clicks, it's going to be crazy. Now Oddibe McDowell.
Oddibe was like the #1 prospect in baseball coming out of college.
Yes, he was at the top of his game, and he couldn't do anything wrong. I mean, we're playing in Rosenblatt, the World Series. There's a zoo back behind right field, and he had a home run, and people were saying, "Medic to the zoo! A giraffe just got hit in the head." That's how far he hit that ball.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, it was really fun, and since COVID hit, with all the Zoom meetings and all that, we all started getting together, and we started having these calls like this, and so we've been talking a lot lately. So everybody's been
cool.
In
contact. Bonds too.
He's been on there, yes.
He's been on the Zooms, yeah.
Yes.
So what is Oddibe doing now?
Oddibe's actually down here in Florida. I'm not sure what he's doing. He's just hanging out. He's retired. Yeah, he's down in Miami or Fort Lauderdale area, Broward County.
Now, with 3 players like that, Devereaux, Bonds, and McDowell, I'm guessing the pitching staff didn't have anybody particularly memorable that made it to the big time. Would I be right?
Doug Henry?
Doug Henry, yeah.
Okay,
I remember Doug Henry.
Yeah. Doug Henry's on that team.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was really one that had, he had a lot of years in the big leagues.
So tell me about your track career, because we've just been watching the Olympics the last several days.
I love
glimpses of it. How close were you, in all honesty and humility, how close were you to being world-class level, like Olympic gold possibility?
Well, I didn't get any training, and from my junior year to my senior year, I increased my time so much. Junior year, the guy that beat me in the 100 and the 200, he broke records. And the senior, I smashed him, but my eyes are burning. But I had no training, and actually, when I went to Arizona State, I wanted to run track, but they wouldn't allow it. And I have a cousin, a second cousin that's actually pretty good in track, who was in the Olympics, won a couple of events by the name of Michael Johnson. So
I remember that name. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny. I tell my son about him, and he looks him up on the internet, and my son starts running, and he's super fast too. But yeah, I enjoyed my time running, but just no telling, what would happen if I had some training.
Yeah.
You got to tell the story you told me about coming from Wyoming, and somebody wanted to race you. They said you weren't what you were. Who was? Tell the story. It was a great story.
Kenny Robinson is a defensive back for the Sun Devils. I don't know why my eyes are just killing me. But what happened was, we're in summer school. We're in a summer class. There's probably like 15 people in this class. And somebody brought up that I'd broken all this records, and he's like, "Well, you grew up in Wyoming. There's nobody up in Wyoming. Of course you're gonna break this record." And I told him, I go, "So what you're telling me is that if you lived in Wyoming, you would have these records?" He said, "Yes." I go, and somebody said, "Well, you guys can go out here and race right now." And we sure can.
Yeah.
And the professor at the time, she was cool. So she's like, everybody started talking about it. She's like, "If you guys want to go out there, let's go." So we literally went out to the track. And there's people betting, and it was like 115 degrees outside. It was in Arizona State. And we went out to the track, And we started running. I said, there's going to be one race and one race only. If you get a bad jump or if something happens, that's it. No second race. Is that agreed? He said, okay, I agree. So we got in there and we started racing, and he pulled up and he goes, we need another race. But at this time I was like, oh, I know I can beat him now.
Yeah.
I was like,
So now you even agree to a second race?
I did a second race and blew him away.
Blew him away.
Take that.
Take that. What state was he from?
California.
Yeah, he wouldn't have held any records in California.
No.
Oh, I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Gee. Hey, Devo, tell us now. I know you were drafted out of Arizona State. First of all, you was drafted by Cleveland, maybe? Cleveland didn't sign. Next year, you drafted by the Dodgers. You went to rookie ball. You dominated in rookie ball, jumped over all the A levels and went straight to AA. Anyway, tell us, because you had really 4 years in the minor leagues. You averaged 320, you averaged 35 stolen bases a year. Tell us a little bit, how did you feel? Did you think you were going to get an opportunity? Because, again, the Dodgers, always in the pennant race. They got a crowded outfield. How did you feel? What was your thoughts?
Well, the thing is, I remember I was in AA, and I had a good year in AA. And Chris Gwynn was one of the outfielders, and this guy by the name Mike Ramsey was one of the outfielders in my first year in AA. And I was like the number 2 player in the league. And so we go to spring training, and I'm expecting to go to AAA. But then there's all this controversy about the number 1 picks that the Dodgers have, and those guys aren't doing very well. We're the number 1 picks, which was Chris Gwynn. So that meant that Gwynny is going to have to, promote their own. So Gwynny's going to have to move up. And then this guy named Mike Ramsey was just having an incredible spring training. And so they're like, who is this guy? So he also moved up. So it left me in AA. And I was like, what? But, the way I looked at it was that, hey, only thing I have control over is what I do on the field. And so that's where I looked at it. And I instead of hitting, 12 home runs, I think the year before, I hit like 26 home runs. And then during that time, Chris Gwynn got called up to the big leagues. I'm like, oh, man, that should be me. But I kept going. And at the end of the season, that was in 87, the Dodgers, they sent me up to AAA for like 3 days. And that next day, Tommy Lasorda called me, you ready to come up here? I said, I totally unexpected. And the Dodgers did me right. I respect the Dodgers so much. They did me right. And then everybody was asking for a trade because the outfield was so packed. And I never said anything. I never said anything. And I was the one they traded.
Who were you? I forgot. Who were you traded for?
Mike Morgan.
Mike Morgan, that's right. We had acquired Morgan earlier and then put him in the trade. Yeah, and he had a couple good seasons for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
But clearly it changed the trajectory of your career. How important was Frank Robinson to your career?
Oh my goodness. I mean, Frank Robinson, that was perfect for me. First of all, I didn't know if I made the team or not. And you hear all these stories about, how they tell you didn't make it. I'm just waiting to see, is anybody going to tell me anything? And they took the team up to DC to play 2 more exhibition games. And there's like 3 players.
Is this 88?
89.
It's 89 was your first year with the team. Okay.
Yeah, 88, they lost the first 21 games.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So, and Dodgers just won the World Series. And so I'm sitting there, there's 3 players that have to be let go. And I'm naive. So I have no idea what's going on. I'm just waiting for somebody to tell me either you made it or you didn't. And nobody said anything. And when it was time to get on the bus to go to Baltimore, I put my head down and snuck on the bus so nobody would see me. And next thing you know, I'm there. So, but Frank Robinson, I tell the story about Frank and how he'd look at you if you didn't succeed, and it was a mess. He was so bad, but it pushed you, and you knew how good Frank was, and he respected his players so much, and just to be able to play for a Hall of Famer, and that a guy like that he knows exactly what he's talking about, and when he talks about hitting, and he didn't hold anything back. He didn't hold anything back.
Especially if you were an opposing player.
Oh,
He
yeah.
yelled at you if you're an opposing player.
Oh, yeah.
He yell at me all the time on the mound.
That's what I liked about him. I didn't,
Oh, I
that
know.
never happened.
God, it was some, yeah.
Who was his hitting instructor in '89?
Tom McCraw.
Tom McCraw. Now, was Frank very active in instructing his hitters, or
Yeah.
he let McCraw do all the work?
He let McCraw do. Tom McCraw. I respect that guy a lot too.
Yeah.
Because he helped me out a lot.
Good man.
Yes,
Good
he is.
man.
He's a good
Liked
man.
him a lot too. Yeah.
So yes, but he pretty much let McCraw do what he needs, do what he had to do. But yeah, every once in a while he'd say something. But no, that was his, as far as Tommy McCraw. And hey, I loved his teaching and his line drive approach.
So your first big league season from start to finish was 1989, the Why Not season. You didn't know how bad the Orioles really were. I mean, you hadn't lived through it, but how surprised were you that team sort of got off to a good start and just they were like the tortoise and the hare. They just kept plodding along, that '89 team.
It's funny because I mean, there's reporters that are asking, or we're predicting that Roger Clemens was going to throw a no hitter because that's who we're opened up against in
Yeah,
the
that's
Memorial
right.
Stadium. And I was like, wow, that baffled me. I was like, this guy is good.
Right.
Bad. But we just started, we started having fun and we started challenging each other and everybody was playing and everybody was taking a part. So there's nobody just sitting the whole time. So the outfield was being rotated and everybody was taking a part in wins. And then it started getting fun. And then we realized, hey, this is something happening. Then not to mention the fans started coming in. Then the why not?
Yep.
Then it was why not? And that was the perfect thing to say for that team.
It was a crazy season. There's no question about that. Ross, go ahead.
No, tell them. I mean, you made the comment. You even got a parade at the end of the season. How neat is that?
And we lost. Yes, and that baffled. I was like, wow, look where I am.
Really,
here I am in Baltimore. This is where I want to be, no doubt.
But Devo, going back, and I remember you saying this. Tell everybody the first big league game you ever saw.
First big league game I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay. So remember, I said I was in AAA for those 3 days, and with the exception of all spring training games, because obviously everybody plays in those. But I got that call from Tommy. I'm as nervous as I can be.
And you were with the Albuquerque Dukes?
I was with the Albuquerque Dukes.
Right. Gotcha.
3 days. And then I get that call from Tommy. Are you ready to play? I said, yeah.
Yeah.
I get up there.
Yeah, right, I am.
You better believe it. And I get up there and I'm still raw and I'm still naive and not think I'm just going to get up there and sit and watch a couple games. I get up there and I'm playing right field in Dodger Stadium. First game I'd ever seen in my life. And
He's playing right field.
Playing right field in Dodger Stadium.
Who were you batting against? Who started? Do you remember?
Oh man, you threw me because I know who it is. Don.
Hey, it's your first time you ever seen a big league game.
Don't worry about that.
No. I'll tell you what though. I was in right field and I was looking at the bleachers. I was just in awe of everything I saw. And then I had to tell myself, you better regroup right now because something's going to come this way.
Okay.
But,
now, here's the other thing. You played with the Dodgers. You played with the Orioles. Now, and here's a guy that didn't play a lot growing up. You played, enough, but I mean, you were, like you said, you were raw. Mm-hmm. The guys you give credit to with the Dodgers and the Orioles were very special. Mention some of those guys. That's very special.
Oh, I mean, Tommy Davis, Roy Campanella, these guys. I mean, Roy was in a wheelchair, and during batting practice, he didn't talk very loud. And this is like my first spring training, my second spring training, and he's just talking the game. You sit there and listen to him, Sandy Koufax would throw batting practice to us. and it was just crazy to be in an atmosphere with all these players. that played in the past that you hear about, and you know, it was just wow. And then I come over here to Baltimore, and I'm in the exact same situation. I mean, nothing lost. And I think about it. Even when I played with the Rangers, that short period of time I played with Texas, there's no history there. And there's nobody there. Obviously, Nolan Ryan pitched for them, but there's no history. I played against him, so I don't look at that as being much history. But you go back in time, there's nothing there. And when I coached for the Rockies, there's nothing there. And these players come in, they have no idea, nothing against them, but they have no idea. You know, you go to Cincinnati, you have all those players that played, and it gets me now because
that's a great point. It really is, Mike.
Yeah. So it gets me right now, and I see a lot of teams that don't even have these guys that they could have just around.
Tommy Davis was one of the most special hitters I ever watched, and it was a real joy. Even though he was in the twilight of his career, he played, I think, two and a half seasons with the Orioles as a DH, but he really knew how to hit.
I'd eat breakfast with him all the time in Dodger Town. He had me in tears.
He's what a great guy. I mean, I was a good friend of his when he was here. I loved him to death.
Yeah.
You know, he was such a special guy, and is a special guy. Yeah. But yeah, but talking about all those guys, and like you said, the player today, and I wanted to say this, but I didn't at the luncheon and something. It wasn't a place to do it at. Yeah. But those guys that you mentioned, you know, Campanella, Koufax, Tommy Lasorda,
probably
Brooks
Duke Snyder. Yeah,
I mean, all of these guys, and the Oriole guys, the players today are not able to take advantage of all of these guys because basically it's not wanted. They think it's not needed, the people in charge, which is sad. And the players don't even know what they're missing. They're all this information, all this knowledge. I mean, I'm going, are you kidding me? And it's sad because it's basically not valued as it once was, which is so sad to the game and the players, what they're missing. I mean, like some of the players know this, but the majority of them, I don't think realize that.
No, they don't. And it is sad, and it's not their fault at all. And it's sad because you know, they're naive about it. And they literally think the game is so different now that those guys don't even matter.
Right.
So they think, oh, those guys couldn't even play right now because they don't have all this information.
The analytical stuff.
They don't have that. So they wouldn't even be able to deal with what we're doing with when it's not even close to that. You know, this is see ball, hit the ball hard. And I always tell these guys, you know, I go, I'll tell you what, ask this guy, you know, this analytical guy that's one of the coaches. This is when I was coaching. I go, ask him how he dealt with and how he handled getting out of an 0 for 20 slump. Ask him that question and see what answer you get. He never got out of it because he never got in it.
Right. Really. Devo, tell the story. And Reggie Jackson, you know, I loved him when he was here in Baltimore. We had a relationship, and I was telling people he had the Porsche, I had the custom van, and we would talk to each other on the CB radios going home. You know, that was our connection. But tell the story about him watching your hitters when you were coaching at the batting cage. That was a great story too. Okay,
so they have an idea who Reggie Jackson is, of course. And I've been working with these guys, hitting, you know, seeing the ball up in the zone, getting on top of it, you know, concentrate on line drives. So Reggie and I are both at the back of the cage, you know, watching these guys hit. And these were my guys hitting.
Now, which team are you with now?
No, this is a minor league, Colorado Rockies. This is an
Colorado Rockies minor league. Right?
Minor league, yeah.
You're the hitting instructor.
I'm the hitting instructor. And so he's back there seeing guys swing, and it's like, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. And the guy, that's it. That's not it. That's all I'm saying. And I get back in the clubhouse, I get the guys together, and I go, okay, guys, what was Mr. October telling you guys? What was he saying to you guys? And they go, the same thing you've been trying to tell us all year.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Forget just trying to hit home runs. This guy has 600 home runs. What's he telling you to do?
Hit line drives.
Hit line drives.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were great stories. And I think it means a lot. I think for people that are able to listen and hear this, that how important it is. I mean, it's a new era of baseball, but still the old way. I mean, it's so special, and it's being something that's being basically eradicated from the game.
Take it away.
Hey, Devo, before we let you go, and we really appreciate you spending some time with us again, because when it was announced you were going in, we had you on, so we couldn't miss having you on after you were inducted. Two players that you played with with the Orioles for several years. They're both in the Hall of Fame now. That's Cal Ripken Jr. and Mike Mussina. Could you talk a little bit about what it was like to be a teammate of theirs, and in the case of Mussina, play behind him?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, to talk about Junior, I mean, what an incredible man he is. I mean, if people that don't know him, I mean, and it's hard for everybody to know him, of course, don't understand what type of team player this guy actually was. And he was a very easy to approach, you know, and you watch him play the game, and you understood that, okay, this guy plays hard all the time. Nothing's going to hold him back. And during the off season, it's so funny. During the off season, when I was staying in Baltimore, we go to his house and play basketball. And he had all these gadgets in his house to test your physical abilities, like how high can you jump, how far can you jump, what's your verticals, and all this. And when we play basketball, when we just shoot around, everybody's having fun, joking around. But when there's actual game going on and it started getting sloppy, he shut it down. He was like, "We're not going to play like this."
Yeah.
And that's the approach that he had, and so it was even serious from that side of it. Mike Mussina.
And Mike, before you talk about Mussina, when we had you on, I think when it was announced you were going into the Oriole Hall of Fame, I asked you about the day that Cal Ripken broke Lou Gehrig's record.
Uh-huh.
You were not with the Orioles, correct? No. Would you tell the story about that? What ended up happening that night for you?
Okay, so when I came here in spring training of '89, I calculated out how long it was going to take Cal to break the record, and it came out to 7 years. 7 years, and I've been doing it for another 7 years before that. So, and I literally said to myself, 7 years, okay, everything's good. 6 years I'm gonna be a free agent. I said to myself, I'm gonna miss it. And this is in spring training in 1989. I go, I'm
1989. That's great.
And sure enough, 95 comes. I'm a free agent. I go to Chicago White Sox, and we go down and play Arlington against the Rangers. And we had a rain out. Unbelievable. I knew the day was here. Because I've been watching it. And I go, are you serious? We're going to have a rain out? I go, come, please rain out. And it rained out. So I went up to my room with just me and beers and sat there and watched the entire game and watched the ceremony afterwards. And I was like, wow, what in the world's going on here? Somebody really must like me to allow this to happen.
That's a special thing to happen, because they don't have too many rainouts down in
No, they
Dallas,
don't.
Fort Worth. No,
they don't. It happened that day. And I was like, wow.
How about Mussina playing behind him?
Easiest guy to play behind. So, I'm playing center field behind him. He knows, obviously, before every game we have meetings on how we're going to pitch these guys, and we understand that we don't have like these patches that you put on your arms.
Yeah, really.
We don't have those things.
Pull the hat off. And
we don't have to look at that. We already know because we talked about it. We have an idea. And we remember, okay, we get this guy down in the count. We're going to do this. I'm going to have him hit the ball over here. And then, if anything changes, you'll see a guy might be a little off at the plate or the pitch or whatever. But Mussina was good because, he was right on his plan. So easy to play behind. And obviously that's why he's in the Hall of Fame. But he always threw and made it easier on us to play behind him, and worked fast too.
Yeah.
Worked fast.
He worked fast. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Ross, you got anything left for Devo?
No, yeah, one thing, I think, Devo, tell everybody what you're doing now. I know you got your son, but tell people what you're involved in now.
Okay, yeah, I'm pretty much coaching young kids. My son is a 9-year-old, and we have a travel team. But there's when it comes to these travel teams down here, a lot of them are strictly for profit. and it costs a lot of money to play travel. I mean, first year we paid for it, and I'm like, we don't have to charge these guys, man. Let's do this. So we started getting all these sponsors and everybody, and we brought the cost as far down as we
Good for
possibly
you.
could for these guys just to play baseball. I mean, I'm not in it to make money off of these kids. And then again, now you're looking at, you know, not just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean you got a good player. So we ended up going to regionals in North Carolina, and we took second in the state of Florida to qualify to go up there, and that was with an age 9 group. And now we're moving the group up to 10-year-olds this fall. And
How good's your son? How good is he?
He's pretty
He's
good.
very good. I'll tell
pretty
you
good.
that. I've already heard that.
And what's his name?
Michael.
Michael Devereaux. All
Michael's
right.
outstanding from all the information and scouting reports I've got. He's outstanding.
He was
All right.
71 for 73 in stolen bases,
Wow.
and nobody
Wow.
else had over 30. So
That's
There
pretty
you
darn
go.
good.
And
Is he an
he-
outfielder like you, or is he
he's
an infielder?
left-handed, but
Oh,
yes,
he's
he
left-handed.
plays
So,
center field, he plays first base, and he pitches.
all right. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, we really appreciate your coming on with us. Couldn't be happier for you. And we knew that the moment made you really happy, and we're happy for that.
Yes, it was. And thank you, Stan fan. Appreciate it. And Grims, much
I'll see you soon.
Yeah,
I'll see you soon, buddy.
See you real soon, man.
Hey,
All
and
right, man.
talk to C3 American Exteriors about sponsoring that team next year.
I will definitely do that with my man Luderman.
That's
Yes,
right,
sir.
because they sell roofs all over the country.
I
I'm gonna tell
know.
you that. All right.
All right, good deal.
Devo, really appreciate it. You can hang on or you don't have to hang on, but I will tell you that this Zoom has been brought to you by our friends at C3 American Exteriors. Go to their website at c3america.com to get a brand new roof for just the cost of your deductible, your insurance deductible. And like I say, every Monday and Wednesday, you will have no greater expense when you own a home than fixing or replacing your roof. You got to know the people, like them, and trust them. And Mike Devereaux and I say you can trust C3 American Exteriors. For Mike Devereaux, Ross Grimsley, I'm Stan the Fan. I'll be on this Wednesday evening with Samantha Lannon. And guys, this is an amazing story. The BMW Classic golf tournament is coming here. It's run by
Yeah.
the Western Golf Association. I never knew that a lot of the proceeds of the tournament go to the Evans Scholars Foundation. They give full scholarships to people that have been caddies in golf. And we're going to have Samantha Lannon, who was a caddy and ended up winning a scholarship to Ohio State University, a full ride. All right. So we'll talk to her Wednesday. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Say
Hey,
hi to
bye.
Michelle there, Devo.
I will.
I'm
Stay
gonna
on the
say hi,
bird too.
See
Bye.
you shortly. See you soon.
Take care.
Bye.
Take care.